know this is a comedy show and it's the 1st of April. Did somebody get pranked? Okay, she got pranked. What happened?
Okay, so basically this guy that I was talking to, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm talking to him, okay?
Okay. It's one of those sneaky ones.
He sent me a screenshot on Instagram that says blank and blank posted you on the story, like mentioned you on the story.
Uh-huh.
I freaked out.
Okay.
Anyways, long story short, it was just a screenshot.
Ooh.
I block him. You block him.
Oh gosh. We're gonna have a moment of silence for this poor gentleman who just found himself in Blockville on April Fool's. I'm sorry, you're savage. However, I mean, honestly, I feel like we cannot take any more pranks. Like, I right now, I feel like life should just jump out from behind her thing and be like, just kidding. Like, how crazy has this year been already? And then somebody gonna try to prank you too? Mm-mm. The next guy that I'm bringing out to the stage, his name is Nic Dundas. And he's a stand-up comedian. He's based in Seattle. And he has performed across the country. Sir? Sir? Anyway, I'm going to move on. So he has performed across the country. He was raised outside Providence in Rhode Island. First of all, Americans. How many Americans in the building? Whose decision was it to make Rhode Island a whole state? Anyway. So, Nic Dundas, he's based here in Seattle, and he's a West Coast transplant, as you like to call him, and he has quickly earned a big name for himself in the Seattle comedy circuit with his quick wit, self-deprecating humor, and NSFW stories about his crazy family. He hosts a donut review show. It's called Glazed and Confused, where he travels in the greater Puget Sound area, rating donuts with other comedians. This is something you don't want to miss. Find Nic Dundas, follow him. Ladies and gentlemen, Nic Dundas.
Give it up for your host one more time. She's killing it. She's killing it. This is fun. My name's Nick. Thanks for having me, guys. Give it up for all the musicians you saw today. This is so fun. I don't know if I can take this out. I like how she started talking shit about Providence. I'm like, what are we doing right now? This is where I'm from. She's like, why is that even a state? I'm like, thanks. All right, but just my home, my home. It's whatever. And you guys all laugh, so don't pretend like you don't agree. This is nice. I don't know if I can take the mic out. Am I crazy? Oh, we're good. Okay, I'm just weak. That's all it is. That's all it is. Who's been here before? The drum school? No one? This is my first time. I'm getting a lot of flashbacks from middle school. Did anyone make some noise if you played an instrument growing up? Anyone? Yeah? We had some moves, some claps, and then you guys just put your hands up like you were under arrest. What instrument did you play? Hands up. Flute. The flute? Yeah. She was getting laid in middle school. That's what she was doing. All the sexy girls played the flute. What'd you play? Guitar. Oh, never. You were getting laid. That's cool. That's badass. You're shredding. That's cool. That's a good school. They had funding for guitars for like 10-year-olds. That's awesome. I played the trumpet. That's what I played. I wanted to play the clarinet. I wanted the big black thing in and around my mouth. I was ready for that. You know what I mean? I was excited, a little too excited, But I played the trumpet, and the reason I played the trumpet was because my grandfather, who fought in World War II, played the trumpet overseas. And so my dad was like, you need to play his trumpet from like 50 years ago, or he's going to die of a stroke. I'm like, that's a lot of pressure for me, but okay, let's do it. So I played in middle school. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed myself. And then years later, I've already graduated. I go out to my grandfather's deathbed. Like, it's all the cousins. We're at the funeral, not the funeral home. We're at the retirement home, right? And so everyone's huddled around. It's like a solemn moment. And I kid you not, the last words that come out of my grandfather's mouth are, yeah, I never actually fought in World War II. Didn't even play the trumpet. And I'm like, what's going on right now? was like, you made me play a dishonorable horn. That's what you did. And he's like, yeah, I found it in the retirement home. I was like, I put that in my mouth. You know what I mean? That's gross. Flute. That's good, though. That's better. That's a better story. I'm excited. I'm not from Seattle. I'm from Rhode Island, as she said. But I enjoy the area. I've been here a few years now. It's fun. It's pretty. It's really pretty out. Like, I like how the weather's changing. It's like everything looks nice. I'm starting to get why so many babies are born in September. It's like days like this in March, you know what I mean? Like, someone's getting pregnant, you know, that's what's going to happen. It's a hot crowd. It's probably somewhere in here is going to get pregnant. I could tell. Usually I say that, and then the couples start just sitting away. They're like, we were thinking about it, but then he told us, and it was weird. You know, we don't like that. You know what they say? Sun's out, don't pull out. That's what they say. No? Okay, no. This is a lot different than the songs that were sung before. I'm just saying, it's a different tone. I don't know why they always combo it. And comedy should go first, then the music. You know, music's so much cool. Yes, she already. Don't agree too quickly. That hurts my feelings. She's like, yes, you should have opened. That's fine. It's so pretty in Seattle. It saved my life once. When I moved here a few years ago for the first time, I was walking down 3rd Ave like an idiot. I didn't know. I was enjoying myself. I had headphones in, and some guy jumped out of an alley with a knife, and he was like, give me all your money. And I was like, oh, shit. Before he could say anything else, though, he just looked up, and he was like, oh, shit, Mount Rainier's out. I was like, no way. It's been raining all month. This is great. And then we kissed. You know, it was great. You know, it was just Seattle. So I've been traveling more for comedy. I've been able to travel across the country. I'm usually staying in Washington just recently. I went to Aberdeen, Washington for the first time. Aberdeen, Washington. It's like right before you get into the peninsula. It's kind of like a harbor town. Yeah, fun. Anyone else who've been to Aberdeen? Yeah, it's mixed reviews usually. Most people wouldn't recommend you to go. I like it just because people in Seattle always give you the cold shoulder. They give you that Seattle freeze, but people in Aberdeen, they're a lot nicer. They're from a smaller town. They appreciate when people come from out of town. If the small towns in the U.S. are called salt of the earth, I would call Aberdeen bath salts of the earth. That's what I would call them. It's their favorite food. So I was there after a show, and this guy went up to me. He was born and raised Aberdeen, huge, 6'8", giant man. You know, he had a flannel. He didn't buy it at H&M. He was born in the flannel. You know, he just foraged in the mountains. And he takes a bear claw of a hand, and he puts it in my chest. He's like, my name is Mark. I've been doing construction 35 years. And I was like, whoa. My name is Nick. I go by he, him. And I've been scooping ice cream for 6 weeks now, so no calluses on my hand, right? Because I use them to make avocado toast. That's what I do. He uses his hands for fracking, I think. That's what he does, so. And then we held hands all night because it was the softest thing he had touched in a while, so it was forceful. I didn't like it, but, you know, it's fine. And then we kissed. You know, it was perfect. It was just, you know, same guy in the alley. It's great. So the punchline of every joke is we kiss. And it's just, yeah. Seattle's fun. I think there's just, I appreciate that people here try to be woke. I like that. I like that's a city that's trying. They're laughing because it's trying. You know, it's not like they are. They're just working on it, you know. It's fun to watch. I was at my first 𝐏𝐿𝐒𝐋𝐾𝐋𝐈 game last year, and when I went, it was Indigenous Peoples Night, and I was like, I'm glad we're celebrating that. We should be doing that. The problem is they didn't know what they were doing. They didn't know how to celebrate. So I don't know if you guys were there, but last year, 10,000 people in front of everybody on the Jumbotron to celebrate Indigenous Peoples Night. The camera guy just zoomed in on who he thought was Indigenous. That's how they celebrated. He was a white guy, too. He was scrambling. He had no idea what to do. He did zoom in on a box of American Spirits. He was very close. You know, he was just... I felt bad. I scalped the tickets. I wasn't sure if that was appropriate for the... Some people like that one a little too much. They're like, yeah, I passed history class. You know, I get it. I think that's a group of people we often overlook. We often name them after things. I think that's strange. I don't know why. You know, we name after baseball teams. We have a car named after Indigenous people, the Jeep Cherokee. I'm sure you've heard of it. That's weird. It doesn't make any sense. It's a whole nation of people. It's not like we have the Jeep Puerto Rican, right? It doesn't... I'd be attracted to that car, you know? Okay, we like Jeep Puerto Rican. Okay, we're in there. This guy does, at least. He's my favorite. I'm from a small town, Rhode Island. It's called 𝐏𝐋𝐋𝐘𝐋𝐈𝐒, Rhode Island. I don't know if anyone's heard of it. No, of course not. No one even heard of Rhode Island before. It's 𝐏𝐋𝐋𝐘𝐋. It's even smaller, right? And it's interesting because it's a native name. It's an indigenous name, and it directly translates to the sound a goose makes. 𝐏𝐋𝐋. That's what I grew up in. 𝐏𝐋𝐋. Just every street sign had a goose. We were the geese in high school, all right? We lost every game. 𝐏𝐋𝐋. That's just every day. Just like that. It's hard to be intimidating on the field. Everyone's like, is that a pubescent boy? It's like, no, we're the football team. We're 0-12. You know, just 𝐏𝐋𝐋. Yeah, it's just that all the time. It was confusing because I'd go to the football games here. I'd be like, 𝐶. Oh, you guys did it. That's nice. Wow. Well, okay, this is good. Yeah, it was confusing. You go to those football games, I'm like, yeah, that's good. That's good. Just change it up. You know, it's awesome. It's interesting. So it's an interesting town, 𝐏𝐋𝐋. I didn't know growing up that I didn't have money. I didn't realize our family was broke. I had no idea. I found out we didn't have money in elementary school when we had show and tell, because that's the day you're supposed to show everyone your stuff. I didn't have any stuff. You know, I had a sunburn. That's what I had. So it was the day, and you know, I burn easily. You see my skin. You know, it's just so. It's every day, so even when it's winter. So it was Friday show and tell, and Thursday's the day before. I'm worried because I don't know what to bring. I'm like, I can't rob somebody. That would be stupid. So I'm doing my favorite activity just in the meantime. It's Thursday. I'm at home, and I'm just digging holes. That's what I'm doing. That's what I like to do. Just bare hands digging holes. I don't know what I was looking for. I was digging real deep. Maybe a father figure, I think. That's what I was looking for. I didn't find my dad, though. The Thursday before show and tell, I did find this oblong-shaped bone, which was interesting. I was happy. You know, I found this cool thing. Because in my head, I was like 8, and I was like, this has got to be a dinosaur bone. This is totally what this is, right? That's the logic of an 8-year-old. So I got excited. I came to class the next day like, oh, I've got the best show and tell. I had some confidence. I went to the teacher, and I was like, you might want to call the mayor, because I made a scientific discovery. She was drunk. She was not paying attention to me or anybody. She was the type to always bring in the Bill Nye video, you know? Now we know why they do that. You know, they're drunk. So I was excited, but then I got less excited because then the kids who went up before me at show and tell started bringing in some cool stuff, and I was like, what's going on? The first girl who went up, her name was Caroline. I'll never forget this. She brought in her dad's gold medal from the 1996 Olympics. Bitch, what the hell's going on right now? That's stolen valor. That's what that is. I was like, you weren't the one sprinting in the 90s. You weren't the one doing steroids. That's not fair. Some of us are wearing the same pair of pants 4 days in a row, and you're showing everyone your gold, like just bragging about your fast dad. So then I got nervous, because then I realized that this dinosaur bone that I had was just a horse hoof. That's what I found in the ground, and it started to smell, and I didn't know how to leave the situation. So in my head, as an 8-year-old, I was like, maybe if I pee myself, I can get out of this, you know? That's the logic. I appreciate that. Thank you. She's like, okay. You're like making sure my jokes are sound. She's like, well, okay, keep going. Like, it just... So I'm listening. So I don't pee myself because I didn't have time, because the next person who went before me made me feel better. His name was Connor, and his show and tell was that he showed everyone the scab on his elbow, and then he just peeled it. That's what he did. And I was just like, yeah, there's always a Connor. It's always on Connor, and it made me feel better because I was like, I'm poor. Give him a round of applause. It's nice. Better half of a decade. That's better than a lot. So what's the secret? What do you do to keep it, working? That's nice. I like that. Seattle's always mixed. You never know. I've talked to different groups and like sleep with other people. I'm like, all right, I don't know. I don't know. That's what marriage is. Nah, ew, gross. Because God knows I've tried. I just and I never. No, I'm just kidding. That's cool. Keep it childish. Is your partner here? Okay, that's also probably it. They're like, we don't always spend time together. We're enjoying things separately. That's always good. I don't know, some space. The only reason I asked, I'm trying to get all the information I can because I'm getting married this summer. I'm excited. I'm engaged now. Thank you. Thank you. I'm excited. When I say it, people clap. They get excited. When my fiance tells people that she's engaged to me, they're like, on the next one. You'll get them on the next one for sure. Like, that hurts my feelings. I'm excited to be with my fiance. We just got engaged, and the the issue we're running into is we haven't been able to really experience like the honeymoon phase, get really lovey-dovey, just because recently she had back surgery, right? So she's been in bed for a couple months. I'm trying to take care of her. I'm trying to be very supportive. My friends are trying to support me. They're trying to make me feel better about it. They just keep going up to me. They're like, dude, what'd you blow her back out, dude? Would you hit it from behind? And I was like, no, she farted and got a herniated disc. That's way different. Is that gross? Was it the herniated disc or the fart? Which one do we not like? Well, the above. It's me, isn't it? Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. It's funny because she's the alpha, I'm the beta. She's the hunter, I'm the gatherer. I do all the cooking, and it's like that in the bedroom too. So when we do get hot and heavy, it's just like I'm lovey-dovey. I'm trying to like say sensual stuff. I'm trying to get in the moment, And she's a doctor, so she's just penciling me in. She's like, ass time, 3 p.m. You know what I mean? It's not like I have all day to think about it. So when we're in the moment, I'm just trying to be like sensual. I'm like, your eyes, they're like the ocean, a big brown ocean. You know what I mean? I want to get lost. No? Okay. We'll chop that one next time. I want to get lost inside of you. That's what I'll say. And she'll just turn around and be like, gay. You know what I mean? It's just a different tone. She's like, what are you doing? I knew she was the one. I knew right away. We've been together 7 years now, and I knew within months that she was going to be the one. I know. I'm excited. Okay. Hold on. They were like, you waited that long, even though I knew she was the one? Okay, well, we've been engaged for years, so I waited 6 years. We actually did distance for 4 years, so we didn't actually live together. So I wanted to test what it was like, and it's great. Is that mature? Am I stupid? What's going on? Good, thank you. I need you guys around, because every time I make a choice, I'm going to think about you both just in the corner. I was like, do I get the Diet Coke or do I go Coke Cherry? What am I doing? And you guys are just, yeah, Coke Cherry. There we go. They're right here. They're see, that's great. So I knew right away that she's someone that was important to me, I'll say. And what did I do to make sure that she knew? On Valentine's Day, within 3 months of us dating, I was like, I'm going to get her a dildo. That's what I'm going to do to make it special. That was stupid. That was a big mistake on my part. Because then the idea is like you have to go to a store. Yeah, and I don't want to do that. You got to look some guy in the eye. His name is Keith, and he's got a polo on. And we're both pretending like it's Best Buy, but it's not, There are no TVs. He's selling the Taco Tickler 3000. That's what he's selling. Wow, it's got Wi-Fi. That's exciting. I don't know what to do with that. So what I did instead is I looked online for one, right? I just typed in on Google, dildo for a loved one. That's what I typed in. And I found a lot of stuff. And what I ended up choosing, this is a true story, on Amazon.com for $25, you can make your own dildo, your cast molding kit of your own penis. It's called Clone a Willy, and I love arts and crafts, so I was like, let's get that in the mail right now. So I got excited. And so what happens is you get this big clear, it's a medium tube, right? You get this medium tube, it comes in the mail. It's got a hole in it, and you're supposed to get excited, and you're supposed to put it on, and you mix this concoction together. It's like clay and water. I call it hot cocklet, okay? Right? So you're supposed to go on your favorite site, whatever, put it on. My favorite site is bigbootylatinas.gov. That's my favorite site. It's a .gov because it's a federally protected class, you know what I mean? So it's mostly just pictures of AOC. That's what it is. I'm just testing the waters politically. We're tepid. Tepid on her. That's fine. So I actually didn't go on that website. Actually, I went on just Pornhub. I went on the classic, everything, everywhere, all at once. And I don't know if you've been on Pornhub in a while, but there's a lot of episodes to catch up on. There's 10 million episodes, and I'm on season 2. It's all German. I don't know what's going on. But I am finding what my kinks are. I'm starting to realize what I like when I watch porn or have sex. And so my favorite, I'm embarrassed to say it, but I'm going to say it. So my favorite part of sex, my favorite part when you're getting into it or watching porn is halfway through when the girl turns around and is like, I like that. That's what I like. That little part when she's like, whoa. I just don't know how to type that online. You know what I mean? I don't know how to search for that. So I have to do this trial and error thing to find that little thing. And by the way, I'm still mixing the penis pudding here. I'm really trying to get ready. And so the first thing I typed in to find that, because I don't know what to type in, is scared, sluts. And I was like, all right. That's rapey. You know what I mean? I don't like that. It's creepy. You know what I mean? It just makes me feel like I'm hunched over, with a glass of warm milk on the side. I've got this neck beard, and it just makes me feel like a Republican. I'm not a Republican. I'm a liberal cuck. We've already seen, you see it in my face. Liberal cuck, that's me, right? Was that too much? That was too much right there. Republican, that word right there. All right, okay. Not really, okay. I said penis pudding, you're like, let's go. And then Republican, you're like, no, not today. We are open-minded. So I didn't do that one. I was like, that's not me. That's not my aesthetic. So the next thing I typed in was bewildered bitches, and that's closer, but not it. You know what I mean? It's just not my vibe. I feel like that just makes me sound like an articulate pimp. It's just a lot of bewildered bitches out here. It's just not me. I don't have enough neon fur for that. All right. So I did settle on this one. This is the one, and it's flabbergasted females. That's my favorite. That's what I look up usually. It's safe. So I'm mixing the boner batter, right? I'm getting into it. The problem was I didn't realize you're supposed to use lukewarm water when you make this concoction. I used boiling water because I'm an idiot. Yeah, and I just thought, I figured I'd have some time, but I got excited pretty quick. That's why I used boiling water. Yeah, and so I scalded myself. That's what happened. And this hot cocklet on the carpet. I'm crying. I'm rolling around. The miracle is that at work it stuck. The problem was I ended up having a flaccid penis dildo. That's what I ended up having. And then I had to present it to my girlfriend of 3 months like a psycho. You know what I mean? Just after 3 months of dating. So I was like, all right, how can I spice this up? How can I make sure she knows I love her? So I got on a knee like a gentleman, and I was like, maybe we could use this as a butt plug? And she was like, I'm pretty sure I'm going to use it as a wine stopper. That's what I'm going to use it as. So, yeah. And I made a bunch of copies of them. So I got what they're called wine. They're called wine weenies, and I'm selling them in the back. So, okay. I'm a comedian, but I also have a 9-to-5. So I have friends in the 9-to-5 world who don't. They're like, if you talk about, even in Seattle, if you talk about smoking weed, they're like, on a Tuesday, never. But then I have and then I have friends who are comedians, they're artists. So it's like, if you don't do acid on you know what I mean? You're a narc, right? So I'm a happy medium. I'm trying to just be once in a blue moon do ecstasy or something. But again, I have what's called resting snitch face. So no one, thank you. No one gives me the drugs, right? But I want to do them sometimes. And I'm realizing it's not my face, it's usually my approach. I think the problem with me is I usually go up to strangers in the bathroom while they're peeing and ask where the booger sugar is. That's what I do. It's my go-to move. And I'm usually standing like this. That doesn't help. That makes it weird for some reason. I'm just realizing that no one wants to do cocaine with the guy from Ratatouille. That's what it is. So, yeah. And the wrong bathrooms? Yeah. All right, now we have this quadrant of people giving me advice. I need this, actually. I really do. Also, you clapping and laughing the hardest hurts my feelings a little bit, I tried growing this beard to cover it up, and everyone's like, you like rats. You definitely ride a moped. So whatever. After a show, I mentioned that, and I went to the bathroom just like anyone else, and then guys thought I was about to ask them for drugs, so they got really annoyed. They got really angry at me. This one dude went up to me. He's like, you think you're cool? You think you're hard? And I looked down and I was like, well, you do look flabbergasted. So, I'm kind of I'm into that one. All right, we don't like that joke. That's fine. That's fine. I was thinking about middle school the other day, so I was crying in the shower, and I used to get picked on. I actually used to get picked on a lot in 𝐏𝐶𝐶𝐘𝐋, and I used to be a chubby kid. I actually used to have like a belly, and they used to call me El Gordo, which is cute in hindsight, but I'm very white. The school I went to white, so that means they all chose to learn Spanish. That's how chubby I was. And I had a teacher reassure me. She's like, Nick, ignore those kids, because when you get older, the ladies, they're going to love you. They're going to love who you are. And I was like, that's weird, because you're a 40-year-old woman, and I'm a 9-year-old boy. So that means you're looking at me and thinking to yourself, this kid, he's going to fuck. I can tell. He's really going to penetrate when he gets older. I thought that was really weird. So I put my pants back on and got out of her car. You know, and just like... she was driving a Dodge Jew, and she... I love you. I need you so bad. she rolled down the window. She's like, you're going to age like fine wine. And I was like, all right. I like what that means. You know what I mean? It just insinuates as you get older, you know, you're like a Merlot. You're rich. People like you. But when you're younger, you're just a grape, right? You're just a statutory grape. That's what you are. So... Am I running the light? No?
No speaking English.
Okay. That's typical. Make some noise if you do like smoking weed. Make some noise if you, yeah. I like it. It's fun. I like being in a place where it's legal, because I grew up in a place where it wasn't legal, you know. But what I don't like about Seattle is they try really hard to be cool about it, you know. They try, and it's tough to be cool selling weed when you're attached to a Quiznos, you know. It's just... And then there's always a bouncer. There's always, like, you go in, there's a bouncer, there's a guy who takes it too seriously. There's a DJ sometimes playing music. I like that. I like music. But they're always playing weird music. It's like Sounds of the Forest, but it's a Seattle forest, so it's just homeless people screaming. That's just the whole vibe. That's not chill. Not nice? Is it not nice that they exist? Yeah. Okay. So you go in, and then there's always a bud tender. There's a guy who takes his job really seriously, and he thinks it's Napa Valley, and he's pointing at all these things, and it's just a wall. There's just too much to choose from. And he's like, do you want a sativa hybrid or an indica? What makes you tick, Nick? What are you into? We've got a lot of hybrids here. We've got literal meth, and we also have Satan's taint. And I was like, I just want drugs. You know what I mean? That's all I want. I got money. Please give me drugs. That's what you are, a drug dealer, right? That's like if I go to 7-Eleven and ask about the chicken particles and the taquitos, right? I just want to forget my dad hit me. That's why we're here, okay? This is why it's 2 pre-rolls. That's what it is. And on that note, my name is Nick. Thank you so much for the time, everyone. I really appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nic Dundas. Round of applause. Thank you.